Well, hello everybody. It is Thursday night. Let's do a live. Got a hair kind of out of whack. Anyway, I am very excited. These late ones, ooh boy, they get you. I tell you what. But it's all right. West Coast people, come on in here, tracking my way. What's up, Leanne? I see Miss Emily has jumped in here. All right, let's do this. Do. Hi!
What's up?
Man, I don't know it. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am just lovely. Excited to get to chat with you and see what's going on in your world.
Yes.
Yay, cool deal. Well, has the weather been giving y'all any sunshine at all out there?
We had a glimmer of it. I think that was Monday.
Yeah, you were out walking like during lunchtime.
Yes. And it was so funny because finding Jen again up in Seattle, our back-to-back stories as we were both out walking in the sunshine because, dude, rain, I have lived in Washington State my whole entire life, and I'm not used to the rain. Right about now, where it has rained what feels like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
It weighs on you. It weighs on your mood. So I think it's supposed to be okay on Sunday, and so we are getting outside to do something.
Hopeful. Yeah, it's gotten cold here. Last Wednesday and Thursday we had snow on the ground. No school for 2 days. We had like 6 inches of snow on Wednesday, and then so that cleared out. School on Friday, and then everything's been normal this week. But like today, got down to like -1 wind chill, like 10, 11, 12 degrees, something like that, or something. It's pretty insane. So too cold to be out. But
anyway, we don't have school tomorrow because we build in snow days that if we don't have school, we make them up. But since we didn't get any snow this year, we just have a random day off school.
Well, all right. So, what do you teach?
I teach second grade.
Oh, second grade. I have a kindergarten.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is my 7th year in second grade.
Awesome.
I love it. It's the hardest, best, most rewarding, most draining, all of the above job that you can have. But
and you come home to 3 kids, right?
Yes, I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Oh. And so they have all been instructed to be downstairs with Daddy. So you might see somebody come by.
It is all good.
But we'll go with it.
Awesome. Well, I'll start these off almost the same way I've already told you. I just want to know kind of like where you were, like when you found out that WW existed, and like where you were when you said, man, I think I can give WW a try, and maybe you've done that a few times, and how and what was a little bit different that made it stick this time. So just kind of tell me where you ever found out about WW.
Okay. So the first time I joined was in 2006. I had just graduated high school. And I joined with my mom, and I went to meetings with her, and I did it for probably the summer after I graduated, and then it's so dumb, but I just hit a plateau and thought, oh, this isn't working. I quit.
Yeah.
Which is so far from what you should do, but then went through college. Gained the freshman probably almost 30. Wow. And then kind of was just accepted that I was just going to be overweight, and got married and had our first baby, had our second baby. And then I just kind of that way, that those years become kind of don't think about your weight. It's not, I'm not going to care about it. That's just how I'm just going to be overweight. Well, then I went to the doctor for an issue with the toe. And when the doctor left, I saw on the chart that it said obese. And that just like, oh crap. I was 28 at the time. And, at that point, it was no longer about looking cute or, being looking good in a bikini anymore. I mean, it was at that point, it was about my health. And at that point, I had 2 kids and I had to do something. So this was about October of 2016. And once again, my mom had just rejoined. And I said, okay, I'll do it with you. And I just fell in love with the program. And above all, I fell in love with the community and the camaraderie that I found at my meetings, on Instagram, Connect. That is something that WW has that a lot of other weight loss programs don't have. Yeah. And it became the vital piece to my success. And so I lost almost 50 pounds and hit Lifetime in April of 2017 and maintained that all summer, and then got pregnant with our 3rd baby. And, she was 100% planned, but I attribute my healthy weight to having a healthy pregnancy, a healthy delivery. So she was born in April of 2018, and it took me almost a year to get back to my Lifetime weight, but I made it.
Yeah.
And so now.
And then you became a WW employee.
And now, yes. Okay. So that's another component is through my success, I found that I was inspiring people along the way, which I never in a million years thought that starting this. I mean, I was just a regular old girl just trying to get healthy. But people are looking for, if she can do it, I can do it. And so finding that inspiration, I thought I would love to work for this company. So I applied, and now I'm coach, and I absolutely love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so you said, so if she can do it, I can do it. And we can go back and talk any more about your story, whatever you want. But what was it that you were doing that you don't do anymore?
What was I doing? So all through college, I worked at Starbucks.
Okay. That
was my job. And I truly, I drank most of my calories in.
Oh, okay.
I think of my go-to beverage that I would have is the upwards of 35 points is what I calculated.
Whoa.
Multiple times a day.
Okay.
So bad. So that is one thing that I do not do anymore. And it's funny because even when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a high point day, I'm having that drink does not even sound good anymore.
I would guess that your body would not take it the same way.
It doesn't. That much sugar, it just doesn't even sound good anymore. So I found an alternative to my coffee drink, and and that's what I tell people, that this has to be sustainable, and in order to make it long term, you have to find those substitutions, because if you feel deprived and if you feel like, I can't wait for this to be over so I can go back to how I was, you're not going to stick with it. So finding those alternatives makes WW livable, which is the most vital part of this whole thing.
Absolutely. So what are some things that you can do now that you couldn't do back then?
Oh my gosh. I have ran 2 half marathons.
All right.
Which, if you would have told me that 4 years ago, I would have laughed. Wow. I was the one. I was fairly athletic in high school, but I was the one that running the mile in PE. Mm-hmm. Dreaded that day.
Yeah.
And now running has become my therapy and something that my husband and I do together, which I didn't even mention him. Sorry, Josh.
3 kids you talked about, husband. Yeah, you know.
He's busy now. So really quick about him. So when I lost my weight the first time, he was very, very supportive, but was not ready to join me. And, you know, I talked to many people that their spouse, I'm trying to get my husband to join. Why? They don't want to do it. How did you get Josh to do it with you? And I just say they have to be ready on their own. You can peer pressure them all you want, but until they decide on their own, they're not going to be successful. So after I had Violet, our third baby, he was like, okay, I'm ready. So he joined with me, and he lost, I think, almost a little over 75 pounds.
Wow.
And,
awesome.
And he is also a coach. So we are our little Dub family over here. And we, you know, just last week, one of our guides to the workshop that we go to, you know, we have a 7 a.m. and a 9 a.m. and he goes to the 7 o'clock and comes home and then relieves me for the kids. And then I go to the 9 o'clock. And she was like, you guys just make it work. And that's what I tell people. I mean, it's a priority to us. And same thing with our workouts. He joined a gym that has an early morning workout so that he goes in the early morning and then I go at night.
Yeah.
It's a priority for us, and we schedule it just like we schedule anything else, and we make it work.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to do that. And you know, the truth about, I would say, saying this so that other people that would ultimately watch this, is you have to kind of be willing to like let someone stay behind, because if you had waited on Josh to do your journey, it might not have fit for you trying to do it in 2018 after having the third kid for the first time. It was maybe that discipline that you learned the first time that allowed it to happen the second time that inspired him to actually join. You know, so that's a hard thing to do, I know. And it's not like, I'm not trying to say he wasn't unsupportive. He could be super supportive, but if he's not participating, that's a different thing.
Right.
I think that there's a lot of people that kind of like don't fully engage themselves, waiting on someone else. And, you know, we can't do that, because this is not an information game where you just need all the information and then it certainly starts to happen. No, this is an actual participation game, and you have to do the work for yourself.
Totally. And, you know, it's not selfish. You know, sometimes, I feel like I'm not being as good of a mom, or, you know, how do you leave your kids at night to go work out? Well, my kids are growing up seeing a mom that going to Zumba on Tuesday, Thursdays, and running on Saturdays, that's part of our life, and they see that, and I want that for them. I want them that they are my why. Yeah. I hope that they never have to struggle with their weight or their body image. You know, having 3 girls, it's the hardest thing that I dread is having negative body image and that. So that's why they're, like I said, they're my why, and I try to always talk positively about, you know, we eat these, we talk about sometimes foods versus anytime foods, and, you know, donuts are sometimes and apples are at any time, and just really trying to teach and instill in them balance and not restrictive, and not looking at foods as good and bad. And
absolutely. So do you feel like that some of that, like as far as like body image and how you approached all that when you were a teen and into high school and stuff, was that something that was placed on you?
Oh, how did that happen to you? I was a cheerleader in high school, and I mean, it's just part of high school, and the image that the way you're supposed to look, and it sucks, and I wish that it wasn't part of growing up, but
it is. So what what do you think the steps were for you? I mean, I feel like, at least now, that you have a pretty solid, healthy image of how Emily is, of yourself, and you see yourself in the mirror and you see the stuff that you've done. How did that grow?
I think just getting older and maturing and really realizing what's important. And it wasn't about looks per se. It was really more about my health and wanting to be around for my kids and making that a priority, and not, whereas before I think more the motivation was looking a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I think really shifting your mindset to having a different perspective helped.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think when we first start this, the standard WW thing is, track, come back, go to your workshops, those kind of things. But then after that, start figuring out some of the components. And then soon after that, I don't know when it technically is, and I don't know that WW would ever say when it is, but 4, 6, 8 weeks in, you start to figure out there is a reason that I'm coming and sitting in these chairs every week. There is a reason. And whatever it is a valid reason. It doesn't matter. Even if it is for vanity reasons, that is a valid reason for you to do that. The thing for me that I would always say to a coach is, like, is that reason sustainable? And is it going to be valuable to you when you achieve it? And if it is not going to be full value to you when you achieve it, then you need another one that is more expensive. You need to earn that one, and you need to earn the next one. And they just need to keep coming. I even storied about this earlier today because I feel like there's a lot of us that we set these, because this week we're talking about goals, like, long-term, long-term goals, and then we're also talking about the little steps that it takes to get there. And I just don't want people to underestimate the value of actually being able to exponentially move the needle on how much they can grow. Because you see, if you need to lose 100 pounds, you lose a pound a week, 100 weeks, you're done. What have you done? If you haven't grown in your mindset by like 10x, then losing 100 pounds can come real back in like 3 months. You can gain it 3 times as fast as you lose it. So that's why, come on now, let's figure out some real goals and some things that you can achieve. So what now that you've done this, and like we can talk about some of the cool stuff that you've got to do. I think maybe sometime you got to FaceTime with somebody important. I don't know.
Somebody might know her. I don't know.
Yeah. I get to go tomorrow to
I'm so jealous. She's not coming up here. I was praying that she would come to Seattle.
Yeah. Is it too far to drive to San Francisco?
It's a deep drive. Yeah. We have a couple people from our workshop that are flying.
Yeah. But you probably get a cheap flight to Denver, even cheaper than that.
Right.
Yeah.
We should have made it happen, but yeah, that will go down as one of the most awesome experiences.
All right. So what, kind of behind the scenes here, like what was the prep on that? Because obviously you weren't just sitting at home not ready for your phone to ring, but like what's the prep for that?
So WW reached out and asked if Josh and I wanted to be part of their next marketing campaign.
Okay.
Which I was over the moon. Of course. What do we need to do? And she said, well, we'll have an interview on X day at this time. Well, it was during the work day. And I was like, Josh, we have to take a personal day. We have to be home for this. This is what I've been waiting for. And so coincidentally, I got sick that day. Oh. I had a fever. It was no bueno, but I sucked it up, did my hair. And so we sat down essentially right where we are right now. And Mel, who, if I would have done research, I would have found her, and she works for Oprah.
Yeah.
Mel said, okay, we're calling. And we just pushed accept, and there she was.
Boom.
And, in the commercial there, Eric is like, oh my God. And all these people are making these big reaction, and they didn't use that footage for us because we didn't say anything. We just were like, oh my God. And it was so surreal. And she is as real and kind and authentic as I hoped she would. I mean, I can remember rushing home from work with my mom. We taped it on the VCR at 4:00, Oprah every day. And so to just grow up watching her and to get to talk to her for that 15 minutes was just craziness. And so, and it came at a time where Josh and I were both kind of in a plateau stall in our journey, and that was really like the kick that we needed to keep going. But
absolutely,
it was crazy. And she called us hot. So
hot couple.
She told us her iPad was overheating because and she was. I mean, she asked what we do now, and we said, oh, well, we both run. And she was like, well, I ran a marathon with Bob Green. And I said, I remember. And then she's like, well, at what point in your half marathon do you think you can't go any farther? And I was like, mile 10. And she's like, me too. So, I mean, she's just so real. And she's wonderful.
That's awesome.
So I hope you enjoy her this weekend.
Oh yeah. It'll
from
be
what
great.
Other people have been posting, you're gonna laugh and people are gonna cry and dance and
absolutely. And I've enjoyed Oprah for many years as well. Grew up with mom watching it and all the things, and I am an uber emotional kind of guy. Yeah. So like a song will make me cry and all that kind of stuff. So I've cried with Oprah 100.
You're gonna be a mess.
Yeah, so I have no problem with that. I cry on the couch sometimes, and my wife will be like, like it's just not in her wheelhouse to do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm over there just, sports movies, all the stuff gets me. But, I what I see in that and what I've seen from all the stops that have gone on before is the inspiration that is, it all really boils back down to the thing that you have to do it, but even before you realize you have to do it, it's that discovery to see that what it takes to do it is actually in you. And that's one of the greatest things about WW is when you rip all the levels and the layers away, like, everyone that has accomplished the great things, the epic weight losses and the reclaiming their life and the inability, the straight over to ability to do things, and, the pictures you see on a plane where they don't have to wear the belt, or the pictures of somebody completing a marathon, or whatever those things are, the accomplishments are all just that spark that I feel like that's dedicated her entire life to, is like finding that spark in people and igniting it. And I enjoy that kind of thing, and I think it is a passion of mine to be able to share with people along my journey and that kind of stuff. So it's great. I get to do this every week and interview amazing people like you and others and stuff. So it's really cool. So all right, we'll get past all that. I now want to do the run through the three things that kind of WW talks. How do you do food? We can talk about how you prep food and how you prepare food with 3 kids and a husband, and you prepare for your week where you have to go and do schools and events and stuff like that. So let's talk about how your family does food.
So we Sunday meal prep.
Okay.
We spend our Sundays kind of doing a family meeting of what's the week look like, how many nights are we home, how many nights are we gone, and then we grocery shop and meal prep. That's what this week we are horrible WWers this week. Because
and what does that mean?
Because this weekend we were busy. It was Josh's birthday. We were gone. We did not prep. Therefore, this week has been, there's nothing ready. And so, I mean, it's worked out because we've had to shop our pantry and shop the freezer, but it gives you like an anxious feeling, like there's nothing ready at home. What am I going to do for lunch? I've had to do Jimmy John's takeout a couple this week. So, I mean, prepping, it's so if you have those things that you have prepped on Sunday available, you're going to make those better choices throughout the week. And we were talking in our workshop on Tuesday. Somebody was like, fruit's not my favorite, but if it's cut up into a fruit salad, I will eat it all week. And so if you have it ready, you're going to make those better choices. So that's our Sunday prep. Hard boil eggs, cut up the vegetables, put it in the containers so that's ready to go for the week.
Okay. That's interesting. So like on weeks like this, which are, you know, it's pretty much a standard thing for people in the real world out there to have things that come up through that. How hard is it for you to battle that, the quick fix, oh my gosh, let's just go here and knock out this meal or whatever, or let's just eat this. And it's not on point, but I got to feed these kids and get them to bed, you know, like real life situations. How do you approach the mindset of that?
You know, just my coworker today who, she just recently joined, and she came in today and sat down and said, does it get any easier since you've maintained this? You've got it. And it's like, it has become our lifestyle, and so it has become more of a habit. Mm-hmm. But I said it's a daily, I have to think about it. And it would be much easier just to swing through the drive-thru on the way home. But nope, we have eggs, and I can make a omelet, and, you know, there you go through times where you think, God, I get sick of thinking about points. I get sick of can't I just be normal and not have to think about it? But I much rather think about points and the annoyingness of it than to go back to where I was. And my favorite sayings is choose your hard.
Yeah.
It's that is kind of our motto. It's all hard. And that's where, you know, in my workshops, I don't let people say maintaining is harder than lose. No, it's all hard. And what's your hard is no different than somebody else's. And I just choose to, I'd rather do this than go back to how I was.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting is how little we can appreciate from the beginning what it really means to engage mentally into this journey.
Oh my gosh.
Like in the beginning, you really just can't, because you just don't even know all the thoughts that you need to be having. Now, later on, 2 years down the journey, your mind can go nuts bananas thinking about all the different things. And really, you can grow in a high level of efficiency so that you can be like, oh, okay, I don't need to think about this because I know I got this, track in my head, and it becomes easier in that aspect.
Right.
But the awareness of actually being present in those moments and that kind of things that aren't there from the beginning, that is a harder thing when you think about it. And it can be taxing, because using our brain like that sometimes is taxing on our like psyche.
Yes.
But the truth about the weight loss part, I never ever have a harder day than what I had 2 years ago in any way, because my body is not carrying around 150 extra pounds.
Right.
So you can't tell me that today is harder than it was 2 years ago, because today was easy. I went to the gym and I killed it and all those things. But that has nothing to do, zero to do with how I think and approach food and how I think about this journey and that kind of stuff. And that takes effort. And people don't realize that all that mental engagement, and engage is my word of the year. And like that engagement, and like I have this great analogy of like, you know, like you're going down the river and like you have to flow with the river. It's just part of the thing. But like, it's like you want to take your rudders and like pull them out so that it slows you down, so that you can actually take a little time and observe your surroundings and be present in that moment, because life is happening like that.
Right.
And like you'll just be right up on something, and if you don't have the preparation and the forethought to slow this moment down. And that's what preparation in food, that's how you think about food, that's how you have a plan, that's how you have the ability to say no, that kind of stuff. So how do you feel like that part of your journey, that engagement self thing, how's that gone?
It's much easier now. Mm-hmm. Just today, my station was decorating cookies for my Valentine's Day. And, you know, you say, well, there are some days where having that sugar cookie is worth it. and I'm going to have it. But today that does not support my goals. And I've gotten to a place where I don't obsess about it. It just, I can say no.
Yeah.
And, you know, Josh and I talk about how WW will never say that one pillar is more important than the other.
Oh, no.
But the mindset, I mean, the mindset, if you don't have that, like you said, you know, my goal is to lose 100 pounds. Okay, great. You do that. Now what? Because once you don't have that weight loss goal, you need to have something that, like you said, it needs to be more expensive. What's going to keep you going? So
I mean, that the void we create is the healthy habits. That is what we have to do. Is we have to insert healthy habits, and what, you know, learning that process of what a healthy habit looks like, and even understanding what healthy habits is, and being able to live it, and not say that we're moving from abnormal to normal, because we are not abnormal people, because we have issues with food, and we have most likely problems that are going on in our life, and overeating is a symptom of that problem.
Contribute to them.
Yeah. So what do you feel like that, and you don't have to answer this question, it might be too personal or whatever, but like, what do you feel like some of the things that you've uncovered over this journey that you no longer medicate with food?
I've learned that exercise, which segue into activity. Exercise has become what I choose to, you know, we say food, oh, well, you're sad food, happy food, anxious food. And I have substituted exercise for any of those feelings. You know, just today I text my instructor for my workout class. Is there a class on Saturday? She said, yes. I said, good. Because it has become like my therapy, and it's what I have substituted for food. And you're right. You need to find, you were using food when you were feeling a certain feeling or a certain issue, and you need to find something to substitute that, take that place in order to conquer that. What's
funny is the whole thing, which many of us as adults will forfeit, because it's not easy, and it doesn't bring joy when it brings pain and that kind of stuff. So a lot of extra exercise beyond just walking becomes the normal for people to just give up and not do. So the truth about exercise and that kind of stuff, and you probably see this with all your 7 or 8 year olds that you deal, is like exercise and getting that energy out brings you back to your normal space. Like your kids probably drive you crazy on days when they don't get to go outside and have recess.
Absolutely.
You know,
100%.
like, and that's a natural thing, and that joy and the fun is all natural. You don't have to convince those kids that running around and acting crazy is something they should do. It's something they get to do, and they enjoy doing it. And somewhere as adults, we make exercise an evil empire that we don't want to participate.
A chore.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I tell all my members, you know, for as far as activity, you need to find something, whether it is swimming, biking, Zumba, running, whatever, that you enjoy. Because if it's not something that you enjoy, you will find 12 excuses, reasons to cancel it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I was saying, we schedule it for the week, who's working out when, what classes are we going to, because it's a priority. And, you know, many people say, well, I need to get home. I don't have time. We are always the first people that we end up canceling on. And I just made the decision, I am not going to cancel on myself anymore. I am a priority, and it's not selfish. I'm doing this for my mental health also. I mean, it truly is, contributes to my mental health, and I'm not gonna to cancel on it. So finding a exercise that you enjoy is probably one of the most important ways to continue to be successful and to be active.
Yeah, so for you, it's typically just like street running or running on a treadmill, and then also Zumba, you said?
Yes, and there's a new revolution called High Fitness that is, it's like aerobics, but with like way higher intensity. And so it's kick your butt, high intensity interval training, and to fun music, and I look forward to it, and I have a whole class full of friends that comes, and like I said, it's the highlight of my week. And running, I'm kind of a fair weather runner, so it's been the treadmill lately.
Yeah.
But during the summer, we have in our town almost 4 Mile lake that is just gorgeous, and so we go out there. And
now, are y'all south of Seattle or north of Seattle?
South of Seattle. We're about an hour north of Portland. Okay.
I can never say it. I said it the other day to Jayana. Is it Puyallup? Nope.
Puyallup?
Puyallup. I said I'll never learn it.
Puyallup.
One of my friends lives there, and I need to come visit.
Okay.
So that's probably not too far from y'all, right?
It's not. It's like an hour, almost 2 hours from us.
Yeah. And then my wife has a cousin that lives like an hour north of Seattle in like the mountains, and like they are always out taking pictures on Mount Scott and all kinds of places. Like it's just ridiculous. Like the beautiful pictures.
We live in like as depressing as the rain is, it's a gorgeous part of the country, and I take it for granted.
Yeah. Have you always lived there?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually I live in the house that I grew up in.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
I know. Yeah.
So how did you and Mr. Get Fit for a Lifetime meet?
I know. He should be putting the baby to bed, and then he said he might crash the party. So
okay.
Speak of the devil.
I need to let them sleep because
it's a baby. I love it. Hi, girl.
Hey.
I'm not tiny.
You're not asleep.
Yeah, you're not sleepy. Go. Josh and I.
And also I need
a
blankie. No, I need a blankie.
Go.
I'm not Oprah. It's okay.
Josh and I actually, we've known each other since we were in preschool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's awesome. Yes, we have a picture of us. We were standing next to each other in our 4-year-old preschool class, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And then we got reacquainted in high school. Started dating our junior year of high school. And then when we graduated, we went our separate ways to college. I actually went to college on a golf scholarship.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I play golf, yes. And then after 2 years, I was like, I want to be with him. So I transferred to where he was, and we both finished our teaching degrees there. And got married.
So sweet.
Got married our last year of college, and then when we graduated, we just decided whoever got a job first, that's where we would move to. Never in a million years thinking that we would be back home.
Really?
And so,
wow.
We moved home, and then my dad got a new job, and our house was on the market, and we bought it. So we are back home.
Cool. Well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So, but we talked about fitness. You have the things that you can do. What about running, like, brings you the joy? And then share with the people, like, what are the feelings that you get when you don't get it, and how do you compensate for those? How do you fill that gap?
I mean, the runner's high, I mean, it is real, and not almost equally is like the pride that I get that what my body can do. And when I think about how far in the 4 years since I started this journey I have come, and that is why I continue. And oh boy, if I don't get to it, it messes with your head so much.
Yeah.
On weeks where life is crazy and I don't get to, I mean, and if Josh joins you, he had a hernia in December, and so he was not able to exercise, and that messed with his mind so much.
Yeah.
And you're right, you have to find something, you have to not let that totally derail your progress. And
yeah,
you know, during those weeks I just try to, okay, well, I need to just make sure that my food is in check, or get it wherever you can. You know, walks at lunchtime, 20-minute walk is better than nothing, or YouTube workout videos in the playroom, or just wherever you can. It's something's better than nothing.
Yeah, and I think it's really healthy, and I would say it's really critical, but whatever, it's really healthy as you start to incorporate any level of fitness to really just like soak it in and see how you are feeling it. Because for me, I didn't work out the first year at all. Lost 100 pounds. That's a great thing. But I knew that I needed to set a goal. At some point, I was going to have to get active.
Right.
I had to start working on that hard and getting the cardio and that kind of stuff. But like running on a treadmill, I had bad knees and things like that. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to find something that I knew I could do. So, you know, a lot of people think, well, I'm going to go to the gym and lift weights. I'm going to do that 5 or 6 times a week. For me, that was never, ever going to be sustainable.
Right.
And there's plenty of days in the year where I could go. And there's plenty of times in the day that I could go, because I'm a member of a 24-hour gym and also a member of the Y. So there's lots of opportunities to go. But I knew that if I set just a regular goal of I want to work out with my trainer 1 time a week, and I want to go a couple of other times a week. And in 2019, I went to the gym 136 times. And so, I mean, that is up from 4 times, which are the 4 times I went in December of 2018. So I went 4 times in 2018, none in 2017, 16, 15, or 13. I can't remember back 2012, but you know, all of those years I did not go to the gym 1 time at all. And then to be able to bring it up and know that level of going 3 times a week for only 30 minutes at a time. And I posted a video today of what I do when I do the workout. Like, it is hard. It is real hard. And sometimes it's real heavy weight, and sometimes it's against the clock and time, and sometimes it's against reps, and I change all that up, but I make it all fit. And what brings me back is I always leave there, and I remember this moment, and this is the moment that I would like really crave for people to get to, that moment to where the conversation that we have in our head to talk us out of doing it is eliminated, to where you can actually just go to the gym without the thought of not going, and then you get done and you're like, oh, I didn't try to talk myself out of that. Because that is whatever that is that seed that somewhere grew in our life between childhood and adulthood. Right. Yeah. Have you been able to eliminate that from yourself, that you don't talk yourself out of going?
Totally. There's hardly ever a time where I talk myself out of it. Yeah. And if there's ever a night where, because I mean, let's be real, I'm human. I work full time. I have 3 children. There are some nights where I don't want to. Yeah. But I know how I feel after I'm done. And it's that feeling that you crave, and that keeps you going.
Yeah, I mean, like Saturday morning, I guarantee you there's going to be a gym at this hotel that I'm staying at before we go to the Oprah event. I guarantee you I will go to that gym and I'll hit it in 20, 15, 30 minutes, whatever it is that I do. Because for one, I want to say I went to the gym today. Right. I went to the gym on the day that I hung out with Oprah. You know, like, why? I mean, just because. That kind of stuff. But the feeling that I get, you know, really helps me. I I don't personally have to combat the thought process of, and you can talk about this, like combat the process. And a lot of people, I know I've heard them say this, the thing of like, I work out more so I can eat more, which is not a good thing to do.
No.
You know, so, but I don't have that problem. I don't work out more to eat more. I keep those two totally separate, and I don't even convert fit points over to eating points or nothing like that. So, but what does it mean for you? Like in that moment, like the accomplished, I did this, like do you get that feeling of like, I've shown up for me and I did this?
Totally. And it's those moments that you almost get addicted to. I love that feeling so much. I had a gal message me after our workout class the other night and say how strong she thought I was. And it almost brought tears to my eyes what a compliment that was, that somebody views me as strong, and how I would have never in a million years thought that 4 years ago at 195 pounds that somebody would view me as strong. And that is, like I said, it's almost an addiction that I love that feeling afterwards, and how it has just totally become a lifestyle change. Like you said, you're going to work out when you're on vacation. Yeah. We went to Mexico and we worked out who are we? Who works out on vacation? We do, because that is our life now. And it's not something that it's just habit and our new normal. Yeah. That's just part of our life now. And it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is. So what does it mean for you to be like part of this community and use Instagram as a place for, hello, Josh, come on in, sir. Hi. I'm not Oprah, but you know.
How's it going?
I'm good. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Awesome. So I was just wondering, like, for y'all, like, you can both share. We got about 12 minutes, and then I'll give you a minute to ask me a question if you want. But just what does it mean to tell your story and use Instagram and use WW? Because I feel like there's a healthy way to like share your story. For one, it gets it out of us and it gets it out into the world. That's basically the equivalent of like goal setting and goal achieving. When you say those things and you believe them and activate them into your life, like how have y'all used social media to do that?
Well, like I said, I started this Instagram account probably 2 years ago. Probably. And it started out as an accountability for me. And it quickly spiraled into inspiring other people. And by sharing my story, I just want to portray that if I can do it, anybody can. And it's so cliche and sounds so silly, but it is. I mean, and that this company and this program has completely changed our lives, obviously. And I just want to share it. I don't know.
Hey, that's right.
It sounds so dumb.
No, totally. And like the truth about, I mean, I don't know how many people actually ever watch these. I mean, it's not 500 or 600 people watch these, and then several people watch the YouTube video and that kind of stuff. But the interesting part to me is, for me, as I've grown in Instagram followers and got 10,000 or whatever, the amount of people that actually will take the time and say that some word somewhere along my week or my journey or whatever that I said is like so meaningful to them. And I was like, well, it was meaningful to me because I said it. I didn't say it because it's just words. So I'm glad. And I always ask people, almost everyone that messages me, like for the first time they message me, I'm like, tell me about your journey. And for me, that's just a way for me to find out about them, which is the whole reason I started doing this. Is I just found some inspiring people, and I said I want to interview you. So you know, even though I wasn't important at all when I started this with 700 followers or whatever I had the first one I did, you know, but the truth is like this is a selfish thing for me to be able to get to do this.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. I want to ignite that flame in people, because the more you tell your story, the more you actually believe it. And the more you believe it, the further you separate yourself from quitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can even, like what Emily was saying about, like, you asked her about the social media thing, and I'm nowhere near the thousands and thousands of followers and shit. Literally, I have followers because I met Oprah, and people are like, "Oh, you've met Oprah. We want to follow you."
Yeah.
But no, I just think that, because I didn't get it at first. She's like, I have a social media. I'm like, she's like, I have Instagram. I'm like, I know you have Instagram, dear. And she's like, but I have a Weight Watcher one. I'm like, what? And so, and I was like, I don't get it. Why do people even follow you? You just post your food and you post your workouts, and that's all you do. But, you know, and I don't know if she talked about this at all, but, you know, we've tried everything. Like, we've done it all. Like, in college, I did Nutrisystem, and we've done Advocare, you know. And the reason I know that people follow these social media pages is because weight loss is hard. Yeah. It's so hard. And so any tricks or tips or hints that people can get, you know, if they like to know that Emily likes bananas and peanut butter wraps because she posts them every single day because that's what she's eating, and they know, hey, if she does it, then maybe I can do that. And, you know, weight loss is hard. And
Jackson's here.
We'll be there in a second. Leave it on the counter. But what I was saying is,
but also knowing that, and that's why I try to post when it gets hard too. And I think it's I get even more comments or messages on days where I'm like, I'm struggling today. I am in a funk. You know, and people, it helps for people to know that even someone who looks like I've got it all figured out, I'm Lifetime, gamey, even I struggle, that it's helpful to them.
Yeah, and I would just, you know, just echo that. And Amy, I see you, by the way, commenting. I just want to let you know that I see you.
The coffee mama. I love her.
Yeah.
She's adorable. I got her coming on sometime, maybe in the future. Right.
But no, just like, one thing is, we're both teachers, and I'm a high school teacher, and I do leadership, and we talk about, like, why aren't kids like them real selves at school? And it's because they don't have a space to be vulnerable. And I feel like, for me, that's what WW is for people with weight problems. It's a place for me to go in and say, I struggle with my weight, and I know you do too, and I know you have as well. And so let's talk about it. And it allows you to really, like, just open up, because it's hard to share a story about your weight journey to someone who's never been overweight. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's what I love so much, is that you literally have a room full of people who all get it. They've all been there. Yeah. And that's powerful. Just to have that, you know, we talk about common experience a lot in education, like that common experience that links us all together. And dang it, we got it. Yeah. And so to have a room full of people that can laugh and cry and celebrate each other and say, you got this, is huge. So. Oh yeah. I mean, that's great. And WW brings us together on the Connect app. Like, there's literally almost any topic that you could choose. You could search and probably find a group that has at least a substantial number of people in there that are specific to that. That's well less than the number of people that you could find on Instagram or Facebook or whatever in groups and things like that. So it's a great time to be doing this with all the tools that are out there. I was just wondering for you, Josh, like what do you think has been one of the key things, like, to overcome? Like, I know she said you had a setback kind of physically and that kind of stuff, to like get re-engaged, because it seemed like last week you showed a pretty good loss as you kind of re-engaged with what's going on. So like, it sounds like your body still knows what to do. You just had to kind of make your mind tell the body what to do to get back on track. So what did you do? Yeah, so I got, like, I wouldn't say dark in, like, a sense that, like, I wasn't happy with myself, but I got in a dark place in the sense that when I got my hernia, I got a hernia back in I got diagnosed back in September, and I wasn't able to get it fixed because I coach pretty much consistently. I do like sports coaching through the whole fall. And I wasn't able to get it fixed because I couldn't be off my feet for 2 weeks. So I was like, I just have to put it off. And so I wasn't able to really work out. And when my workout stopped, I saw the gains start to happen. And then I started eating poorly. And, you know, we talk about social media being, and I use this analogy all the time, is like Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. And it's like our highlight reel. And so the thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to post those low lights. And so I was in just, you know, if you look at my Instagram, it's like I used to post all the time. Then all of a sudden from September till now, you're like,
crickets.
Where'd you go? Like, I think Dane, WW Dad's like, Josh, where'd you go? And I'm like, I'm still here, man. I'm still here. So, but no, like Emily said, like when you post those struggles, people want to know that you're real, like that you're a real person and they can relate because one thing about that first post back that I had was me re-entering the gym saying, hey, I'm up 30 pounds from August. Yeah. And I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is, and we're gonna move forward. You know, on Instagram, you have that option to link it to your Facebook page, and I didn't mean to. I never do any of my weight loss stuff to my Facebook page just because I like to keep it separate. You know and I accidentally linked it to my Facebook page, and I didn't realize it. So many people reached out via text, via social media.
Comments.
Yeah, 40 comments. They're like, dude, you got this. Like, thank you so much. Like, I was going to quit WW, and now, like, I know I can because, like, we all have setbacks. And so, it's so important. And I heard you guys talking at the beginning when I was watching on the stream. I heard you guys talking about track. You know, we say all the time, track. But also just being, like, you know, even if you are in a place where you can't track or whatever, just being cautious or conscientious, there we go, of what you're doing is so important. And, you know, I'm not going to say and I know I say this in my meetings all the time, I'm not going to say I've never sat in my car and shoved something in my face that I shouldn't, because unfortunately we have those food addictions and those cravings and they happen, and own it and move on. Right. And so that's been the biggest thing for me is, hey, I gained 30 pounds. You know what? And last week I lost almost 6, and now here we go again. So let's roll. But, that's right. And you got to get back on track so that way when the summertime comes around, you know, Oprah can call you hot again. That's right. Highlighting my life. Man, highlighting my whole life. Yeah, highlighting my whole life. Hot. Woo! My phone. Anyway, y'all are the best. Y'all are adorable, and I love following y'all's journey, and it's just the best thing. And I love that you're both coaches and that kind of stuff. But the fact that you just share your lives with us and you're real, that's really the coolest part. And I would encourage anybody, you know, to follow y'all. If anybody that's following me, if it doesn't follow them, y'all follow them. They're pretty cool follows. If y'all have any questions right now, we got like a minute and a half before Instagram shut this off at an hour. But what do you want to know about me? No questions? I feel like nobody ever wants to ask questions about me. Nobody does? Everybody's always caught off guard. I'm like, you have to ask one question. That was a good question. Y'all are both coaches. Dig deeper. I know. Well, I wasn't ready. No, I can't flood it out to. I'm not in a workshop full of people. I didn't know what was going on. What was your first big change or what was your like wake up call? What was the thing that made you say, I got to do this right now? Okay, so I did WW for about 2 months, about 2.5 years before I joined this time. And I had zero experience with WW. I didn't even know that the company really existed before that. But my mother-in-law had done WW, and she lost some weight. So my wife said, hey, you could do WW. Just go to these meetings. I was like, okay. Got there. It was all women. But I lost like 20-something pounds. Then we moved across town, and I quit and all the things. But then things got worse and worse and worse. So spiral ahead to November of 2017, and I was starting to just feel bad. I couldn't do some of the things I wanted to do. It just felt bad. And I knew that when I'd lost the 25 pounds earlier that I felt better. I was like, I want to do that again. So that's really the only thing that I knew, that I wanted to feel better. And I lost, 40 pounds in my first 16 weeks. And for me, it was really crucial. A pivotal thing was I saw that my success story book was 16 weeks long back then. And I lost 40 pounds. I was like, this is a book. I came every day. I did this.
I lost 15 out of 16 times, 40 pounds. Let's do that again. I was like, this is duplicable and duplicatable. Anyway, I can't, all the words are hard for me too. But anyway, that's the thing. Like I just said, I'm going to do this. And I've been chasing Blue Dot since January of 2018. And I've had it every day with the Blue Dot.
Every day
over 800 days.
Isn't that amazing?
Better man than me. Better man.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might have to give that up.